Sorry, hello, my name is Michelle. I've been with Energic for 6.5 years, since 2011, because my parents and our family is in the business as well. So I will just briefly elaborate more on what have Anthony explained. Just now you all were asking if there is, okay, currently I'm just a 6A2. How I wish if this system existed, right, I probably would have been 6A2 like ages ago. So I really like this. Okay, so for example, yes, if it is just one 6A, then it is 100. Means your first one, there definitely minimum have to be 100 sales. But a sale can happen here. It is counted as 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. For it may be 1 here, but it's gone up the line. So it may not be 100 each on everyone.
They're
right?
distributed unequally, right?
Yeah. It may be unequal. Follow? No, okay. If a sale happen here, as how MM works is all on 1A, right? So when a sale happen here, this person will capture a sale, this person will capture a sale, this person will capture. So one sale can actually reflect 7 sales.
So that's 8 spots down, right?
Correct.
So 8 people under me, the 8th person sells, then it counts for
Correct.
all the spots up.
Yeah.
It counts
So
1 for each.
It is 1, so it may not be actually 100 each. The count is 100, but not necessarily 100 machines.
That's a good point. Can we use this maybe use the opportunity to explain to people how the 8-point commission structure works? You know, that each machine is paid out 8 points.
Oh, okay.
8 points to 50.
Can we add or?
Yeah, you just take the other one.
Okay, so in Energic, our 8-point system is a patented plan. The company has gone all the way to patent this plan, so there's no other companies that will offer you a 8-point system because it has been patented. So for every machine sold, we will pay out 8 points or like a pie of 8. But maximum a distributor can only be 6A. That is the highest rank. That's the first highest rank, which means you can get 6. The other 2 will flow up. 2 more will flow up. But currently for this system, the initial entry point, everyone will be 1A. You will not be a 6A until you hit 100 sales. Okay, so there will not be an overpayment because Energic will only pay out 8 points, not more than that. So for example, if the sale is on the 9th level, the one on the top will not get. It will only pay, that is why we do not say that we pay 8 levels, but what we say is we pay 8 points. So if you are a 6A and you get a sale, you get 6 points, only 2 will flow up. That will only make it 3 levels, means you and 2 more above you. So we are clear? Okay, so any more questions? Okay.
So when we have to kick off our 3rd leg, we buy a shower head. We'll get 6 points for that shower head.
Yeah.
Cool.
Correct. Okay. So I will just go back to this on the title incentive, because in normal circumstances, sometimes the 10 units are not met. When the 10 units are not met, the 3,000 is not paid up. And when the 3,000 is not paid up, the person that will be promoted to a 6A2 will not get the 6,000. So it has a domino effect. So we encourage everyone to get the 3,000 because it is a one-time thing. Because we are all in this, even if we are in this for charity, for whatever, we need the money to do charity, right? So if everyone gets the 3,000, means whoever that is promoted along the lines will be paid the bonuses as well. So I'm just going to show you how these bonuses, bonus from the 6A2 onwards will or will not be paid, which is it too low? Can I draw here? Or should I?
We'll get another one.
Or maybe I just change color. Then it's easier. If this is someone above you that is already 6A, and he already have another 6A leg, Okay, so there is 3 scenarios. This person gets the 3,000. This person, the second person gets the 3,000 as well. Then this person as a 682 will receive the 6,000. Okay, because both sides, everybody get, that's the best. If the scenario, this guy did not get the 3,000, but this guy got the 3,000, the 6,000 will still be paid. The third scenario is, this guy gets the 3,000, this guy do not, the 6,000 is not paid as well. So it is very important that, because maybe if it is your first time, 3,000 is a little. But what if someone that is promoted in the line is 682, 22, 23, 24, this is a lot of money. But because of one selfish person, the 3,000, because, oh, 3,000 is not a lot for me, then everybody along the promotion is going to be robbed of the opportunity to get this money. Yeah.
What do you mean by a selfish person? Like, how would I not get the 3,000?
Okay, for example, you do not step up with 10 sales on the month.
But with MM, we don't do
Yeah,
that.
correct.
So
Exactly.
there's no chance we can.
Yeah. That we definitely have to maintain that. But I'm just telling you that this is the scenario that can happen, or what if it is overlooked. Okay, so we just need to be very clear that yes, with MM, how we see it now, definitely everybody will make the 10 sales. And everyone will up rank and will be entitled to the bonus.
So it's saying this scenario is not going to happen, but we're just letting people know this is, it is out there. So it's just up to the MM team and all the leadership team to keep an eye on this, which we're doing.
What I understand right now is that momentum is very important.
Correct.
That we don't have to let it cool off in any way.
Absolutely.
We just have to keep going and be consistent with it,
Absolutely.
with the recruitment side.
If it is duplicated, then everybody along the line will definitely be paid. So that's why I say in normal scenarios, these are the scenarios that we will actually face. So whatever happens in Enagic, if you are promoted in July, it is paid at the end of August. It pays 1 month later. Not the commissions, but the bonuses. So for July volume will be paid in August. August volume will be paid in September.
Yes, actually, so those of you who are on the third and fourth leg, which I think it's you guys that are quite ranked up here at the moment. So those of you who might be ranking up on this month here in July, so you'll receive that $3,000 in August. Okay, and also just one thing I forgot to mention here, if I can just have a new flip chart up, is does everyone know why you pay what you pay currently at the moment based on machines? So there are different. You'll realise that different machines pay different commission structure, right? Pay different commission points, and you also realise that it's paid at different intervals too. And you may have seen some of Eric's video on some of this, but if not, I'll just explain. So on the Google Drive, you'll find this document. I believe Sahan or some of the other leaders have posted up, called the Enagic Europe price list. So on the Enagic Europe price list, not only do you see all the price of all the machine, obviously, but you also see the points that you receive for each machine. So, for example, on the K8, 1 point pays out 250 euros. Okay, so based on the structure we're running at, if every ideal scenario, if everybody ends up buying a K8, everybody above them receives 250 euros. So that 250 euros is paid out if they if they use the one full payment, okay. But if they use the installment, it's actually segregated. It's split. So in other words, if somebody takes out an installment, it's paid 40/60. So that's very important to realise. So if people are understand, you have 2 people underneath you, and they both pay K8, and you realise why you haven't received the 500, it's because they took out the payment plan. Okay. So if they took out the payment plan, for example, you receive 40% of that 250 into your bank account, and then you receive the other 60% once they finish the installment program. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Sorry, back to you, Jack.
Sorry, can I just ask a question about, because we've got so many orders that were placed,
Right.
haven't necessarily been processed on the time that those orders were made.
Right.
With the...
Speak up.
Right.
Sorry,
Speak up.
Okay, so because the orders that we've submitted are like dated as older, but
Right.
Enagic are catching up in processing,
Right.
will they class them for the date they processed them or the date that the orders were submitted?
The date that it's processed.
Okay.
It's always the date it's processed. It's entered into the system. Yes.
So my question was, because you're talking about months, is it a 30-day month? So like if you start on the 14th of July, is it go to the 14th of August, or is it from the 1st of
Calendar
August? Calendar month, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it's actually quite important that we tell the newbies that this newbie to 6A, those 8 weeks or whatever Eric is telling them, is not starting from when they hand in the sign, but when it's being processed with an AGIC.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few in the chat that keep moaning about it, where's my money, and I've not received. Eric said it's like 6 weeks or 8 weeks I'm getting paid, I'm not receiving anything.
Process and when the payment was out of the bank account.
So when Magic start processing, because
Yeah.
this is one of the points that we've highlighted with the CEO. And we were very fortunate to get a 10-minute slot. Well, as opposed to a 10-minute slot, we ended up having a 30-minute window, didn't we? With myself, Master Wong, Eric, and Liam, we managed to get a long time slot window with the CEO, which was a big positive. And personally, I've never had a personal one-on-one audience with the CEO in his boardroom, and so this is because he's seen what we've been doing. He's seen what MM is doing, and I've already said that he's keeping an eye on our sales every single night, and he's very happy, but at the same time he wants to make sure that the MM teams are looked after too, and make sure the commissions are paid out accordingly. So one of the good things that came out of this is that they've allocated a key person. I'm sure some of you have seen from Liam's post, face chat, that this guy they've drafted in from New York to look after our accounts personally. And he's still fairly new, very young, but very experienced. So things are hopefully going to speed up. Okay? All right, sorry.
No, but it's just important that we put that towards Eric when he does the presentation, or whoever does presentations, because it's a bit misleading at the moment. They expect it from the time they hand in the form, and that can turn into a big problem if the groups get bigger and they start demanding stuff, and there's nothing we can say, right? And we can't keep on blaming it on Enagic, because then they start hassling them. And then if they find out that, shit, my form's been processed like in 2 weeks' time because they don't get their act together, in their view, we know what they're doing to achieve the best outcome for us, right? But they don't see it like that. They're sitting in a different position.
So
And
shall
it
we
could-
say you receive that since you get your customer number? Because you send on and then they give
No,
you
once the
customer
payment,
number.
I think Enagic starts having you on the system as soon as the payment is taken, right? Not when the form is handed in. That's just something we have to be very clear about when we do the presentations.
Yeah, it's when the ID is generated.
Because
Yeah,
for some people that put this money on credit cards and they expect it to be there in 6 to 8 weeks, it will not be there in 6 to 8
There is a
weeks.
difference between generating ID and taking the payment out of the bank account, because, for example, my bank account kept it for 5 days as a locked amount without taking the money out, but it was locked. So depending on the bank, and that would be misleading. So it is from the day when Enagic created the ID.
So it's the idea.
Okay. Sorry, back to Michelle.
Okay, because Enagic has two, which is the bonuses or the 8 point. The 8 point pay as the sales go in, but bonuses are paid lump sum at the end. Okay, so we are clear on that. Okay. Let me see if I miss anything. So some of you have these leaflets, right? So today I will share the bonuses that Enagic actually has.
We will clarify that the money taken out from the account, that's where they start, yeah? It's not the January ID. The January ID is just temporary, give you the ID to slot, not when you get the money out. So when the money come out of the account, because when she say one thing, she say one thing and she said yes. So which one is it? She said one thing, she said January ID, and she said money come out of the account, she said yes.
No, because Liam
You
needs
see
the
what I mean?
IDs. Liam needs the IDs
Yeah, to fill
put them
people
in
in.
retrieved. And then when the money gets taken out of the account,
That's
that's
the
when
time
Enagic
account.
activates the
I think it's
payment
because
structure.
there are so many within our MM system currently. Within our MM currently system at the moment. Let's just wait on it. I know what you're saying. So within our MM system at the moment, there are one of the complications I think we've found is that's created a bit of a bottleneck is there's a number of factors. One, it could be because these IDs are held, the people that are coming in, their IDs are held overseas. So if you've got orders in Africa and orders in America, etc., then it creates that kind of bit of, although it's
That's not the question.
What's the question?
The question is, they're asking is the day the money come out of their account, is that the day it count?
You know, when
day of the
Enagic,
payment?
so the question is, when does Enagic start rating, starting you as a newbie? Like Eric is saying, from newbie to 6A, it's like 6 to 8 weeks by the rate we are going, and you get this amount of money, right? So the question is, this starting point of the 6 weeks, is it when they fill in the form? Is it when Enagic takes out the money, or is it when prior to that Liam creates the ID?
When Enagic generates the ID.
But I will, sorry. No, sorry.
When the money comes out.
Because of our system,
Yeah.
the ID, you will get the ID first,
Yeah.
but the money is still not take from your account. So only your money will take from the account, the machine ship to you, it start to counting on that
So
time.
yeah, so again, like I said, we're running two systems here on TAN at the moment. So based on the Enagic system,
Yeah.
then it's actually when the ID is processed. But based on MM system, to our point, then it's actually based on when the money is taken.
I don't care because I trust and I'm happy to go with the flow of the information we put out there to a lot of people at the events. We cannot say from newbies to 6A, 6 to 8 weeks, when actually Enagic takes now 2 to 3 weeks and people still haven't received their machines.
I think we need to help ask Eric to just amend that point and just make sure we're all aligned. Yeah, that's a good point.
Those
Yeah.
numbers out because you say it's right about the month depending on how long they take to process the machine. So it starts from when the machine is shipped to you or something
That's
like
right.
that,
Yeah.
right? Or when the money is taken out of your account.
Yeah.
Because people are getting very antsy about this. Yeah, but I'm 3 weeks away from this receiving this check. No, you're not because you still haven't received the machine or the money hasn't been taken.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point to make.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. Cheers.
And also just to add, as the lines get longer, the number of orders that need to get processed is going to increase, so that time is going to start increasing as well.
Exactly. It's not 6 to 8 weeks, right? Because we keep expanding on the bottom side, so it takes a longer time. Do you have any calculations of time?
Again,
Because we
based on Eric's projection, if everybody consistently brings 2 people each, then we'll be on target. But it just really depends on how well structured and how efficient we are in bringing people into the system.
Yeah, if let's say some people a bit lazy or not bring one to two, one bring two, some people didn't work, but some people work, then the time of course will be delayed. So it's just like how people to work together to communicate and also be committed to get one bring two. It's really important to get. So of course, at one bring two, that is the target we can get, like 6 to 8 weeks. But if let's say some people be lazy, but we can't control them, so that's the point.
But we have
Yeah.
to be careful giving guarantees to people
That's right.
because this is the problem.
So-
People are not doing the job that they promised to do, the other
So-
side of the bargain, and we're gonna get held accountable as leaders, as
So I reckon probably what we're going to do, I will brief with Eric and the leader together, is that they receive the machine is when it count. So that way you can backdate some of the time. If you say that they come out of their bank account, that you still got a window there that said 6 weeks I should be this, but I'm not. That they receive the machine. Yeah, so that way you give yourself some room for yourself.
I
Okay.
wouldn't give any specific.
No, that gives
I would be vague because if then Enagic has a backlog, they said they will come up and say, well, I bought my machine 3 weeks ago.
No,
I
receive
still
the
have-
machine.
Yeah,
Receive the machine.
in their mind.
Yeah, they receive the machine at home.
But there was a situation on the chat, like I think yesterday, where someone who bought last week got the machine, but the one from the week before didn't.
But-
right? So, but they've bought 100 or 200 people before and they haven't received the machine. So then we're gonna be made accountable for
Right,
the
so-
bullshit that's not ours.
Yeah, so that's something we can't control. So I think Eric needs to just correct a couple things to make it clear and let them know that's all there is. Another thing as well, the amount of time is not dependent on it. It depends on everyone being people. So if the line is getting wider, If people didn't do the work, they cannot get where they're going.
Yeah, I think Eric has already mentioned this several times. I've heard it every single time. I'm very conscious of this. At every single event, he said, "This is what we're projecting. It's not a guarantee." So it's very important to say, if this of one brings two does not sustain itself, there's no guarantee. Just as, okay.
Do we know how many orders Enagic can process on a daily basis right now?
Yeah, that's a good point. In terms of order processing, it's roughly about 100 to 150, but in terms of commission, it's about 50 to 100 at the moment. But again, following our conversation with the CEO, the fact that they've drafted this new guy in, it's going to help to speed up the process. But also, I'm sure you've heard from Liam Schatt, they're also setting up a dedicated email address for MM, which is, again, never happened before. Every single person always has sales@enagiceu.com, and we've now